Hi everyone. Today I'm just going to do like my everyday makeup routine. Just a couple of my friends were asking me what to do, and it's rainy and yucky outside, so I figured why not. Um, Disclaimer, I am not a YouTuber. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just kind of doing this for fun, just to get my feelers out there. I also have my nephew in the background, so you might hear him every once in a while. He's watching Moana. Um, and yeah, so let's get started. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is wash your hands. You always want to make sure that your hands are clean, so that you don't break out. Obviously, I break out, but whatever. The first thing you're going to want to do is use a moisturizer. My skin is very dry, especially in the winter months. So right now I'm just using the e.l.f. Daily Hydration Moisturizer. I'm hoping to get a better one. I've been watching reviews on moisturizers to get for dry skin. So I'm hoping that for Black Friday that they will have a good one on sale so I can grab it. Okay, so then after my moisturizer, I then go in with primer. So I use two different primers. For some reason right now I've been gravitating towards the Melania Prime Perfection Face Primer Hydrating and Pore Minimizer. Like I said, my skin is very dry, so I really want something that's going to hydrate, but it's not going to make it look oily. Another one that I use too is the Photo Focus Face Primer by Wet n Wild. That one's pretty good too. It's kind of watery, but it's not bad. So you're just going to want to rub this on your face. And kind of let it's nice. I would let it dry down, obviously, before you put on your foundation. So, my everyday foundation, I go back and forth between foundations, honestly. But my everyday one that I seem to use lately, and it's raved about, is the Wet n Wild, the Photo Focus foundation. I'm in Shell Ivory, which is not necessarily the best match for me, but that's what I'm working with right now. A couple other foundations I have are the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Total Coverage, and I am in 301 Classic Ivory, which is a little dark for me, so I tend not to use this one. And then the True Match Lumi, and I am in the color Warm, which is probably not right either. Like I said, I'm not a makeup artist. I just really like doing my makeup, so this is what I have. Make sure your beauty blender is wet if that's what you're going to use. I use a beauty blender for my foundation. Some people use brushes, but I find the beauty blender works best for me. I can't wait to get my new ones in the mail. I ordered e.l.f. had a 50% off sale, and I was so excited. And I got a brush set, and I got their new, like, the white ones. So after you put on your foundation, however much you want to, I mean, it's total preference. A lot of people have different, like, how much they use or where they use it. I've seen a lot of makeup tutorials where they like mix foundations, or they'll use like different foundations for different parts of their face. Since I'm only doing like an everyday makeup and I'm not like glamming out to go to an event or like whatever reason, I'm just using one, and this one works pretty well for me. There's some really nice drugstore makeup, like foundation, and I really want to try like different foundations. Like I really want to try the Hourglass that Manny raves about on his channel. I really want to try that, but with my dry skin, I'm just so scared that it's just going to make my skin look very cakey. And obviously nobody wants to look like a cake, so. So once you get that all blended, as you can see, it's probably like medium coverage. You could probably build it up to be full coverage, but I mean, this is pretty good for every day. I mean, you can still kind of see like my red marks. You can see like my pimple right there. But that's what concealer is for. So I have, I use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, which is like my ride or die. And I have fair, neutral, and fair. I tend to use the fair one. Like I said, I'm so light skinned that it's so hard to find stuff that match me. So this is, you know, conceal and highlight your face wherever you want to put it. I have to get neutralizers. I really want to get the color correctors. By, oh, what the hell? I forgot who they're by, but I really want to get them. Just because I always have pimples on my face. Like I have acne, especially around like my lady time, is when I start to break out the most. So I really want to get the color correctors. I just haven't really wanted to spend the money on them. Not that they're expensive, because they're really not, but still, it's, you know, it's money. So obviously you just blend it in, blend. The Shape Tape Concealer is so good. Like, it's expensive. And the only reason why I have two of them is because I went to order one, and I was going back and forth on ordering it. So like I said, they're very expensive. So I was going back and forth, and then finally I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Whatever. But then I had forgotten that I had already ordered one. So then I got two. And thankfully I didn't get the same color. Because I got them from, like, I think I got them from, like, Sephora and Ulta. So it was two different websites. And yeah, I don't know why I ordered two. But anyways, so I use them. They're really nice. Everyone talks about them. Okay, so now that I have my base on my face, my concealer down, the next thing you're going to want to do is bake your face. So you're going to want to set all of that with some setting powder. So setting powder. So I have a few different setting powders I use. Of course, like the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder is like really nice. It's very cheap. The only thing about it is it's just it's the smell, the scent to it is very strong. So if you're like kind of sensitive and don't really want that strong of one, then I wouldn't suggest using that one. For brushes, I just have these purple brushes my mom got me for Christmas, and then I have e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. This is literally like my all-time favorite brush. I like use it for everything. So the setting powders I have are the Maybelline New York, Super Stay Better Skin. I have Porcelain, and I also have Classic Ivory. I believe, I just have to look to see which one's lighter. So yeah, so these are the colors. So that's the front of it. So I use the lightest one, which is the classic ivory. Oh no, porcelain. I'm sorry. It's the porcelain one. So I just take it on my brush. It's a dense brush so that it picks up a lot of product. And I just tap it in under my eyes. Anywhere that I put the concealer is where I'm going to want to put this powder. Just to set your face. And then you can put it all over your face. Blend it in. A lot of people like baking. So baking is like you put translucent powder on, you let it sit for a while, and then it like soaks into your foundation, and it kind of makes it stay all day, and like it doesn't crack and it doesn't look cakey. Like I said, I have really dry skin, so I try not to use as much powder, just because, like, obviously if I use a lot of powder, then my face is gonna start looking cakey, and like I said, I really don't want cake face. So now, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to bronze your face. That's what I do. So I use the Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow palette, to bronze and highlight. Their blush, oh, I love their blush. It's literally like my favorite. So I'm gonna just get a brush, and I'm going to take the darkest shade, and I'm gonna contour my face. Well, not really contour. I'm gonna bronze my face. I don't really contour. Tap off the excess. You're gonna want to go on the top of your forehead. And just make sure that you're blending, because you don't want it to look really funny. So the way I do this is I usually do a 3. It's kind of like bronzing and contouring all at the same time. Like, obviously I've gained a lot of weight in the recent years, so contouring has become like a really good friend of mine. Especially because I've gained so much weight in my face that I really try to contour. Chisel, chisel, chisel. Just make sure that you're blending it down your neck, because you don't want to have that orange line that everybody has. So right here is... how I know like where to put it is the top of your ear down to like the side of your cheek, and then like I said, just make sure that you're blending that out, because you just don't want... When I first started to like play with bronzing and contouring and all that stuff, I went to work one day, and you know, I thought my makeup would look good. Like, I thought I blended it enough. And then one of my co-workers, who's a male, he was like, he's like, hey, like, you got some dirt on your face. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, you got dirt on your face. And I was like, oh, like that, okay. So I go into the bathroom, and I notice in their lighting that it is my bronzer, and like I tried to contour, and it just looks bad, and then they thought it was like a bruise, and they're like, oh, your boyfriend beat you. I'm like, no, my boyfriend doesn't beat me, it's makeup. And they're like, oh, how, like, whatever. And I was just like, I forgot to blend it out. So blush, apples of your cheek. I really like this blush. I kind of want to get another blush from Too Faced. Their blushes. I really like Too Faced. I want to get a lot of their products. A lot of people like talk bad about Too Faced products, or like the brand itself. I'm not a big YouTuber. I don't do YouTube videos just yet. So I'm not really in, like, I'm not in on the gossip on like brands and stuff like that. I just really like Too Faced. They are expensive, but I do like them. They're blushes, they're bronzers. I really want the chocolate Soleil bronzer. It's like literally like tastes like chocolate, and I want it so bad. And this one smells like peaches, and it smells so good. Like, I just love it. So now that I have foundation, powder, I have my concealer, I have my bronzer, now is when I would put on some setting spray before I did my eyeshadow. But my setting spray that I use is actually in my purse. I use the Morphe Set and Prep setting spray. I have some Milani. Actually, where... I have more. I don't know where it is. I'll just use this one, I guess. Is that like its last straw? So it like didn't want to really work. A lot of people like to take their beauty blender and just kind of pat in the setting spray so it like really just gets in there. Alright, so the next thing that I do is I usually do some eyeshadow. I'm really starting to learn how to do eyeshadow. I'm really not the greatest at it. I've been watching tutorials on how to use it. So I use a couple of palettes. I have the e.l.f. palette, which has like every color you can ever want. So that's a good palette for beginners. Then I also have the Morphe 35F palette. It's the all shimmer palette. And this one I really like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my blending brush, and I'm just going to take we'll do like this. There's no name, so I'm gonna do like this one right here. Just to use as a transition. Oh, I forgot primer. Where is my primer? The Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. And I'll just take my finger and blend it in. Okay, and now you take your transition shade, and this is also going to work as a setting for your primer. So just blend it all over. Okay, and now the next color, like I said, I don't have fancy brushes. Like, I just ordered some from e.l.f. And I want to get a set from Morphe. I just use, mostly I have e.l.f. blending brushes. Is mostly what I use is e.l.f. just because they're so cheap. And I'm not really just starting at makeup, but I'm pretty new at makeup. So I'm not gonna buy like crazy stuff. So the next color I'm gonna do is like a little bit darker from the first color I used. So I'm gonna use this color right here. And I'm just gonna focus on the outer part of my lid and in my crease. Just make sure you're blending. Blend, blend, blend. Nothing fancy, just kind of building the color up. Okay, the next color I'm gonna do is another darker brown, so probably this one right there. And I'm just gonna pop this in my outer corner only. Just blend. Makes her eye look wider. If you're worried about fallout, because this palette does have a lot of fallout, you can always put some translucent powder underneath your eye so that when you're done with your eye, like I'll do it right now just to show you. So when you're done with your eyeshadow, I'm gonna just wipe this off real quick. You want to make sure it's a fluffy brush so you're not like digging into your skin. So I'm just gonna put it right here. So that when I'm done with my eyeshadow, all I have to do is just wipe it away. Okay. Oh, it's so strong. So this is kind of what we got going on right now. So just make sure that you keep on blending. Okay, so now I'm gonna move to the Morphe palette and just pick one more color just to put on my lid. So I'm gonna do like a maroon, just like a, not crazy. Tap off the excess. I'm just gonna put that in the center portion of my eyelid. Just make sure you blend it out so there's no harsh lines. And you don't want to hold your brush like this because it's going to be harsher. You want to kind of hold it back more so it's kind of loose, and it just blends it out so much better than as if like you were holding it. A lot of people put their first transition color under their eye. Powder in my eye. Okay. Okay, now that that is done, oh, I'm not comfortable. This chair sucks. So the next thing I'm gonna do is my mascara. I don't do my eyebrows. As you can see, I have very, very light eyebrows. Like, they definitely need to be done, but they're light. Oh, I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and just brush off that translucent powder. Perfect. Okay. Now, my favorite mascara is the Lights Cama Lashes from Tarte. I was so excited because they just celebrated their birthday as a brand, and they had, in a whole week straight, they had every day they had different deals, and their first day is all of their mascara was only $10. And I've been going back and forth and buying this mascara because I wanted it for so long, but it's originally $23, and I was like, I'm not paying $23 for mascara. There's no way. I don't think so. But then I saw this and I was so excited because I got 2 for the price of 1, and I was just ecstatic. I'm not gonna curl my eyelashes either. I don't use fake eyelashes. I've tried to use fake eyelashes, but it doesn't work for me ever. I just got some mascara on the side of my nose. So I usually just do like 2 layers. Good. Okay. The next thing I do is I put some eyeliner in my waterline. Now, the regular eyeliner that I use, of course, is in my purse. So I'm just going to use this e.l.f. one that I just have sitting in my drawer. Alright. And that is the finished look. Alright, thank you for watching. This is, like I said, this is my everyday makeup. Nothing fancy. So I am going to hopefully post this video. If you like it, let me know. If you want me to do more, let me know. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.